All right, welcome everybody. It is Tuesday, October 28th, and I'm just so excited about this presentation, and thank you so much for watching. Let's pray together before we get started. Lord, we just come to you and ask that you would open our hearts and our minds to what you have to teach us. Lord, thank you for creating us. We just give you glory and praise. And Lord, I just pray as my heart just feels so heavy about this, that you would just bless any woman who is watching this, who has struggled with any of the issues that we're discussing tonight. I pray, Lord, that you would bring her comfort. Lord, I pray that you would just bring her strength and wisdom, and that you would just bless her and help her to understand what you would have her to do with her body, whether that be with Young Living products or any other thing, Lord. I just pray that you would give her hope and encouragement. We just thank you, and I offer this up to you. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, thank you again for joining me. This is Hope for Fertility, Pregnancy, and Postpartum with Young Living Essential Oils. My name is Lauren Bretz. This has been a really, really wonderful month for my team. We were able to reach the platinum rank in Young Living, and I'm just so thankful and so honored and humbled by that. If you have missed, this is the 4th webinar in a 4-part series that we have been having for the month of October. We've been celebrating women's wellness. If you have missed any of the previous webinars, you can find them on my YouTube channel, or you can always email me and I can send you the recordings. Just want to remind you that until midnight on October 31st, the promotional items are still available. For an order of 190 PV, you can receive 3 free oils: nutmeg, cinnamon bark, and orange. And then with a 250 PV order, you can receive those oils and a $20 transferable enrollment voucher, which means you can give a friend $20 off of their purchase of a premium starter kit. And then with a 300 PV order, you can receive all of that and an extra 10% back in Essential Rewards points. So really generous month this month, really exciting. All of the photos on all of my slides tonight were taken by Melissa DeWitt Photography. She actually just reached the rank of executive this month in Young Living, and I'm so excited for her. She is just such a blessing to have on my team, and I'm just so thankful for her. And when I was preparing the slides for this presentation, I was Googling maternity photos, and I realized, oh my goodness, Missy is this really talented photographer. So I went to her website. She has an entire section of maternity photos. So I'm just so excited to have her beautiful pictures on this presentation, and I'm thankful for her, and thank you, Missy, for letting me use your photos. As usual, I am not a doctor. This presentation has not been evaluated by the FDA, and the information is not intended to diagnose, treat, or prescribe. The information really is just to educate. And I really have such a desire to create awareness and offer hope to women who have just been so frustrated in their reproductive health. Please pray and do your research. Do not give up if you are feeling discouraged. There is hope for you. I feel so heavy-hearted about talking about this subject because I have so many very dear friends who have struggled with fertility. I have dear friends who have struggled in their pregnancies where they have just been, throwing up the whole time, or have had cesareans, or whatever the issue may be. And I feel really tender about this, and I do not want anybody to think that I'm an expert or that I'm insensitive to the issues that you have had. So please do not hear me telling you that there is only one way, and I want to offer an alternative, I think, or just even if somebody has never thought about the things that we're going to talk about tonight. And then, as usual, I get a lot of questions when it comes to pregnancy. can I use Young Living products? Are they safe? I think we need to change the question. I think we need to change the question to, are conventional medicines safe? Are, the diet that I am recommended by society, is that safe? Are the shampoos that I use while I'm pregnant safe? Are the lotions that I use while I'm pregnant safe? I really struggle with that question. I think it is a valid question, but I think we need to change that question because these products are plant-based. They are plant-derived. I personally use them all throughout my pregnancy and postpartum and on my baby based on my understanding of the chemistry of essential oils and these products. So please do your research. Please gain an understanding of what these products are made of and how they're processed. And really, we really have got to change that question. We've got to start asking, what else out there have I been doing? Is that safe? So I just want to, food for thought. Okay. Life is precious. I just wanted to read this verse to you because I just love it. For you formed my inward parts. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there was none of them. And that's from Psalm 139, 13 through 16. I think we just always need to remember that, the Lord is so in control of our bodies and our babies' bodies. The Lord is so in control of what is going on with our womb, whether we are able to conceive or not. And He loves us, and He knows us so well. He knew us before we were even conceived. He's known us before the beginning of the earth. So I think we just need to remember that life is from God, and He cares. And any kind of tragedy that we have suffered or experienced, He knows, especially when it comes to this subject. So why do so many women have issues with fertility and pregnancy and postpartum? There are many issues, and this is not an exhaustive list as usual, but a congested colon can be an issue, poor diet, xenoestrogens. We talked a lot about that in a previous webinar a couple weeks ago that we had this month. Stress can be a huge factor in fertility or pregnancy for sure, and postpartum. Hormonal imbalance, adrenal fatigue, even just a lack of education about what is going on with your body can be an issue, because if you don't know what is going on or what might be happening, you don't know how to address the problem. A misunderstanding, that was kind of redundant there. Emotions, emotional blocks have a lot to do with our health, and environmental toxins, which kind of go along with the xenoestrogens. But again, this is not an exhaustive list, but these were kind of the main ones that I was thinking about when I was thinking about the main issues that women have. Some of the causes of fertility. One of the major causes of infertility is a liver that is not functioning optimally. Because it isn't balancing the hormones correctly, a negative feedback loop begins among the pituitary, thyroid, and ovaries. Our liver not only processes all of the blood in our body, but it actually processes all of our hormones that are coming down from our pituitary, thyroid, and ovaries. So if our liver is not able to process our hormones correctly and put them into our body in balance, it's going to just throw every single thing off as the hormones loop back up and around. And then the adrenal is in charge of energy production and also makes the building blocks for hormones. Adrenal insufficiency is a chief cause of chronic fatigue. If the mother has adrenal insufficiency while she is pregnant, her body will rob the baby's adrenal glands so it can run more efficiently. And another thing that the adrenal glands do is that they actually help to produce estrogen. So sometimes we think about estrogen dominance and how estrogen is bad, but it is not bad. It just needs to be in balance with our progesterone. And again, we discussed that a couple of weeks ago. Okay, so there is hope for the hurting. Do not give up. You've got to utilize your resources. I think that there is such a huge difference between Young Living's products and other products. I had a lot of fertility issues myself several years ago and experienced three miscarriages. And my doctor had told me that she never thought I could get pregnant again if I wasn't able to get my hormones in balance because I had such low progesterone. And I had tried a bunch of other products, but I really didn't experience greater wellness and vitality until I started using Young Living. So I would not be here today talking about this issue or even these products if I didn't really believe that they could help. I can't exactly tell you what you need to do, but there are natural answers. Your body was made to do this, and God is sovereign over your body, and sometimes He does call people to adoption, and He does, not allow women to conceive, but most of the time your body really can come back into balance naturally without having to use a lot of the things that we are told that we should use in our society. So there really is hope. But addressing these issues requires patience, perseverance, and prayer. We really have to patiently research, patiently work on our bodies. We've got to persevere through the times that are really difficult, especially if we're working on cleansing our systems, and really just asking the Lord to lead and guide us into what He has called us to do, whether it's cleansing or balancing hormones or both, or changing our diet, or whatever He might be calling you to do, or even going to a doctor. Whatever He's calling you to do, it really is such a matter of prayer. Is my thing backwards? It's not lining up with my notes. I am so sorry. Maybe it is. Okay, yes, I'm doing fine. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. Anyway, so a few helpful products before we even get started talking about pregnancy. These are just a few helpful products when it comes to fertility. So the book Inner Transformations that you can kind of see in the background there, I highly recommend that book. She has an entire chapter about cleansing for fertility. And then in Taming the Dragon Within, again, that book is about balancing hormones. She talks again about how to use these products for fertility. So the cleansing trio at the top left there, Essential Zyme, ICP, and Comfort Tone, that is a wonderful grouping of products for cleansing the colon and for bringing it back into balance. There is such a tie between the colon and hormones and fertility, like I said about the liver. That has to do with your digestive system. Ningxia Red is a very cleansing, nutritive product. And then, of course, Balance Complete. I've talked about that before. It provides so many essential nutrients for the body to build the body back up. I do not think that it should be a replacement for a whole foods diet on a daily basis, but it is a wonderful supplement to health. And then Prenolone Plus Cream and Progessence Plus, those are both wonderful products. Many of us know about those. And then, as always, the everyday oils. I think they're just so foundational, really important as a foundational products to get your body on the road to wellness. So preparing for pregnancy symptoms are not isolated. When you get pregnant, you are not just carrying a baby. Your whole body has to support that entire process. So it's not like everything just shuts down. Everything goes into overdrive to try to support a growing human being in your body. And the body needs so much support. You really are a superwoman when you're pregnant, because you are not only caring for your body, but you're caring for your body in order for it to take care of your baby. So if you're nauseated, it can be linked to hormones, but it's usually linked to digestion. If you have headaches, it could be linked to hormones. You just don't know, and you have to really learn your body and learn what is going on in your body when you're pregnant to try to figure out, okay, how do I treat this without feeling defeated by what's going on in my body. Pregnancy is really hard, and we have to change our thinking. We do not have to surrender to suffering through pregnancy. We can't just lay on the couch and be depressed and decide, okay, I'm just going to be sick this whole time, or I'm just going to sleep this whole time. In my first pregnancy, I was so miserable. I just slept and was depressed the whole first trimester and pretty much most of the whole time because I had absolutely no idea what was going on or what to do with my body. I drank chocolate milk and ate donuts almost every day. And so not only was I suffering emotionally, but I was just tearing my body down. And I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with good chocolate milk or donuts once in a while, but, I was just eating for comfort and not really eating to nourish my body. The reproductive system is not isolated from other systems. So we can't just say, this is how it goes, I'm just sick. Pregnancy is not a sickness, but we have to have proper support for our bodies when we're pregnant. So again, we've got to change our thinking about what is going on in our bodies, and this holds true for when we're not pregnant. We've got to support our digestion. How's your enzymatic activity? Are you eating foods that are putting enzymes into your body? Do you need to take digestive enzymes? How's your elimination? Are you having regular bowel movements? If you are not having regular bowel movements, you are going to have a waste backing up into your body. And this is very, very true, again, for any stage of life, especially when we're talking about infertility. But a lot of women who are pregnant, they have, severe nausea or they vomit, but they are not eliminating what they're eating. And usually, way before they're even pregnant, they are so toxic that they haven't been eliminating all of that time, so they have so much toxic waste backed up in their bodies. And I know this is something that's really weird to think about, but it is just so true. If you think about, how often have I had a bowel movement throughout my life, or have I ever cleansed before? If you read the book Inner Transformations, it'll make a lot more sense to you, or if you listen to one of our recent webinars this month. But the bacteria in our colon has so much to do with our digestion. So again, it could be a matter of the bacteria in our colon. Do you have yeast buildup that is causing your body to, lack nutrition? Can you absorb nutrients through the walls of your colon? Are you eating enough fiber at night? I remember years ago reading that women who eat a bowl of baked beans before they go to bed at night when they're pregnant helps them to eliminate in the morning. Are you getting enough soluble fiber? Are you eating dark leafy greens? Are you getting enough minerals? Supporting your adrenals and your thyroid are so important, and your adrenals and thyroid need minerals, B and D vitamins, A vitamins, fats, especially butter and fermented cod liver oil or other types of fat, avocados, and proteins, and rest. We stay up so late at night and we get up so late in the morning, or we stay up late at night and we get up early in the morning. Our bodies desperately need rest. And since our adrenal glands, like we talked a couple weeks ago, our adrenal glands are there in our bodies to support our bodies when our bodies are under stress. So when you are pregnant, your body is under stress. And if we're not supporting our adrenal glands, we're not going to be able to handle pregnancy without feeling totally fatigued and exhausted and sick. And a lot of women do not realize this, but they actually could be having fine digestion when they're pregnant, but could still be feeling nauseated just because their adrenals are so exhausted. And our adrenals, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, I'm sorry I keep saying that, but our adrenals have so much to do with pancreatic function and digestion. Again, if we are not supporting our adrenals, we are going to have nausea and vomiting and fatigue and headaches. You know, a lot of times if we're pregnant, if we feel like we're starving, we need to drink water. We are just dehydrated. Or we need to eat more salt or minerals again. The baby will take what he or she needs. You cannot blame the baby on your problems. A lot of women will say, well, I'm severely nauseated, so it must mean that my baby is this gender or that gender. You know, it's really not the baby's fault if your body is the one that is struggling. We've got to support our bodies. Our babies will get what they need, and they will take so many nutrients from us. We've got to support our bodies. And we do need to support our babies' bodies as well, but we cannot blame the baby if we are having trouble. First trimester, again, there are so many things that you can do to support your body. A lot of women, when they are sick in their first trimester, you know, they'll just eat saltine crackers and maybe ginger snaps and drink coffee or tea. This is not going to be enough, and most women who do that can tell you that they do not feel well when they're doing that. We need enzymes, antioxidants, cell support. And when you hear me say antioxidants and cell support, I want you to think about what I mean by that, because I cannot prescribe or diagnose. So I need you to read between the lines there. Vitamin and mineral support, hormone support, adrenal support, immune support. We need so much support coming from all different areas. Protein every 2 hours. Some women say they need a carbohydrate every 2 hours. I think it is important to eat carbohydrates, but we need to think about complex carbohydrates. But protein is so important. And we need to fulfill our cravings intelligently. And what I mean by that is, if you're craving chocolate, you're probably needing minerals. If you're craving salt, you probably need minerals. So you need to eat salt. Get some Celtic sea salt or some Himalayan pink salt and eat your salt. Put your salt on your food. You know, if you need chocolate, get some dark chocolate and put some salt on it. But fulfill your cravings intelligently. You know, if I am craving a burger, and again, I might be crazy, but I'm not going to run up to Wendy's up the street and get a burger. I'm going to go and get some good pastured beef, and I'm going to get some raw cheese and a sprouted grain bun and some butter and some organic ketchup, and I'm going to make myself an awesome burger, and it is so worth the wait. I am not perfect. I had a mini Snickers bar this morning, so because somebody left it at my house. Do not think that I have perfect health, but I will tell you that when I was pregnant with my last couple of children, when I learned to actually, you know, intelligently fulfill my cravings, it was so worth it to just make sure that I was really nourishing my body in the way that it needed to be nourished. And we do not realize how dehydrated we are. We have got to drink water. As a pregnant woman, you need at least 2 to 3 quarts of water a day, if not more, and that is going to help with nausea and making sure that you're having regular bowel movements. Again, you're going to see me say rest a lot of times in this presentation. Rest is so important, and you know, I know that we feel like we need to do a lot of things and get a lot of things done, but it is okay if you sit down and put your feet up when you're pregnant. It is okay. And then repeat this process. This article on Dr. Leanne's website is absolutely incredible, and I just highly recommend it. So this website that I have here, if you are listening to this call and not watching the presentation, please email me and I will email you the link. This is an article about natural remedies for morning sickness. So here are a few helpful products for first trimester. And again, these are products that you're going to use your whole pregnancy, but everyday oils, foundational. I'm trying to be very general with this because I do not want to cross a line with diagnosing or prescribing, but these are some wonderful products to research. I used them when I was pregnant. I did not use Progestin Plus actually, but I have several friends who like to use that in their first trimester. It is not necessary to use it in your second trimester usually, but some women have needed to do that if they have extremely low progesterone. But these are some wonderful products. Progestin Plus, Super B, Mineral Essence, Essential Zyme, Balance Complete, Omega Guys, Multigreens. I hear a lot of complaints about the taste of Mineral Essence, As I said before, I do 3 dropperfuls in a quart of water, and it is fine. Some women put it in capsules. Honestly, you kind of just have to get over the taste and do it. It'll make you feel so good. It's such a wonderful supplement. Second trimester, there's not really much to say about second trimester. Just enjoy yourself. It's a really wonderful time where you usually feel much better, but make sure that you're nourishing your body and staying hydrated and resting and keeping up with your supplements. It still is really, really important to nourish your body. So just because you feel a lot better during this time, it's not the time to kind of ignore all that you've been doing during your first trimester and even before. The third trimester can be a trying time, so it's really important to stretch, do some prenatal yoga. A lot of women like to do it their whole pregnancy. I'm not saying you should just pick it up in your third trimester, but staying hydrated, reducing discomforts and stress, with your oils. I used a lot of the pain oils in my third trimester. I went to a chiropractor and made sure that I was in alignment. I continued to work on my digestive system. As long as I was drinking, 3 to 5 drops of lemon in my water, it kept my system alkaline and made sure that I was not having indigestion. Sometimes all it takes is a drop of peppermint or a drop of Digestion in your belly button. Preparing for delivery was really important for me. I really want to be careful with what I say, but anyway, I did use some things to prepare my perineum, and I'm going to talk about another thing on the next slide in just a minute. But natural beauty care, I put a little smiley face there because, I'm not huge to go get a pedicure because of the chemicals and the water and stuff, but there is nothing wrong with that. But there are a lot of, wonderful natural places you can do that. A friend of mine sells those natural nail wraps. Those are really wonderful. I used those on my toes to give myself a pedicure before I had my baby. Getting a massage is so helpful to keep your lymphatic system healthy and keeping your immune system intact. My most recent pregnancy, I went through the whole pregnancy and never even had a cold. And usually when you're pregnant, your immune system is so suppressed that it's very easy to get sick very quickly. But I just had such a wonderful experience using my oils and supplements to really keep my body in optimum condition for my pregnancy. So I'm so thankful for that. So some more helpful products. I'm going to always have those everyday oils and that Ningxia Red up there, but even in my third trimester, I used so much Ningxia Red, and it just helped my energy so much. But Clariderm spray, several friends of mine, and I love that spray. I sprayed my perineum with it every day before I had my baby for a couple of weeks. And I did want to talk quickly. I don't know how much I can say about this, and I really can't say exactly what I did, but I am, a redhead with fair skin and have had a lot of hemorrhaging and bleeding issues with all of my babies except for my most recent baby. And I used helichrysum for a few weeks before I had Barnabas, my 5th child, and afterwards, and I'm just going to tell you, I just had miraculous effects with this oil. It is expensive. It was worth every penny, and I just think it is priceless, and I'm so thankful for that oil. Clary Sage was very helpful for me for my postpartum cramps. I actually am I have a rare issue with Clary Sage. I tried to use it during labor to help with my contractions, and it made me extremely nauseated and have a headache and sick. I think it's because it's very balancing to hormones, but my hormones could not handle it. But I did use it after I had my baby, and it was so helpful for postpartum cramping. And Valor and frankincense and Gentle Baby, those were some of my favorites. I anointed my baby with frankincense after he was born. Valor is wonderful for labor concerns. It was really helpful for me. And I inhaled frankincense during all of my contractions, and it was so helpful. I didn't have very many contractions because I had my recent baby in less than an hour, but it was very helpful. And then the book Gentle Babies is just, it is a must-have resource. I just cannot recommend it enough. So, fourth trimester and postpartum care, you know, this is such a special time, and my heart breaks for women who try to get straight back into life after they have their babies, because it really is supposed to be a time for rest and enjoying your baby. I mean, back in history, you know, women were confined after they had their babies because they were made to stay in bed and rest, and it really is such an important time to bond with your baby, to keep your feet up so that you can recover. I remember when I had my third baby, my midwife told me, she said, you know, that placenta has come off of the inside of your uterus, and now you have like a big open wound, you know, as if you took a scab off of something. And it's just a really important time to rest so that that wound inside your uterus can heal. So rest and enjoy your baby. You know, I love to take baths after I have my babies. I take 2 to 3 baths a day. I use, you know, herbs and oils and salts, and it's just so helpful to restore, you know, minerals to the body with the magnesium that's in the salt, and it's very healing to the perineum, very healing to the skin and all the stretch marks. You know, my husband loves to make me juices after I have babies, and smoothies, green smoothies. It's so, so important to build the body with good nutrition, especially if you have a lot of blood loss. And then something that a lot of people don't realize is diastasis recti repair. A lot of women who have multiple children, but this can happen with women who only have one, your abdominal wall can actually separate so far that you have what's called diastasis recti. So that is something that you'll want to research. My diastasis recti was so bad this time around that my water broke, and it took a really long time for my labor to get kick-started because my uterus was kind of sagging down because my abdominal wall was so separated. So that is something that I wished I had known a long time ago. So something that you want to research. And then stay oily. Use your oils. You know, helpful products for postpartum besides the ones we've already talked about are Progestins Plus and Joy. It is really important to support your hormones and your emotions postpartum. A lot of women have such a strong drop in their hormones when they have their babies that they love to use Progestins Plus. Joy has been a big one for me postpartum. Any day that I forget to use it, I notice that I have emotional issues. So that's a wonderful product to use. I think my daughter is bringing my baby up here, but I'm almost done. So if we get interrupted, it's because of my baby coming up here. Oh yeah, here he is. Hi. Hello. Thank you. Can I have a pacifier, please? Oh, thank you. Okay. My children have been so wonderful during this time watching the baby for me. Here are the references and resources that I used for this presentation. I just love Dr. Leanne Deirdeff's teachings on all of this in both of those books, Inner Transformations, Using Essential Oils, and Taming the Dragon Within. I know that our group gets bulk orders of those books a lot, and we just love to make sure that everybody has them in hand. Dr. Leanne also has a website that is so incredible, and if you go to her website and you search pregnancy, she just has so many wonderful articles on pregnancy and fertility. And then these other websites, they just had excellent information about cleansing the body and reversing infertility. Of course, again, as usual, this is not an exhaustive list. And then if you want more information about a really wonderful diet during pregnancy, I really love westinaprice.org. If you search pregnancy, you'll find some wonderful articles there. I know all of this can seem very overwhelming, but it is so important that we understand and change our thinking on how to deal with pregnancy nowadays, especially with the things that we hear from society. So thank you so much. I know this was a very brief presentation and not exhaustive, but I just have to be very careful and want to just make sure that we are aware of all of the many options that we have in healing our bodies. So God bless you. I'm going to have a giveaway after I turn the recording off, and we're going to have questions. But if you are watching this recording, please contact the person who shared it with you if you have questions or if you need any help with these resources. God bless you, and thank you so much.